Alright, Innistrad spoilers are coming out, and they've made some interesting ones now. These spoilers are starting to heat up. We've got Faithful Mending. This is the new Faithless looting. I feel like this might be a little bit of a color pie break because I don't remember ever having looting effects in Azorius colors. I mean, yeah, we have flashbacks of careful study. I'm not literally flashback, literally flashback, not the mechanic. So we have Faithless Mending. It's a blue and 1 white. Instant. You gain 2 life. And you draw 2 cards, then you discard 2 cards. And it's got flashback. You can do this again. Now, I have no idea how the Arclight Phoenixes are going to use this, but I'm sure they're going to be pretty happy to try to jam this. You know that the Phoenix players, they're going to splash that white. They were already in the Izzet colors. What is it to add 1 more white to make this thing work? And it's at instant speed, so hey, it's not 1 mana, but it's not a 2 mana like sorcery speed discard spell or a looting spell, which is a really big deal. You know, yeah, things like Goblin Lore exist, but Goblin Lore is at completely at sorcery speed and no flashback. So this is Faithless looting reincarnated in Azorius colors. And potentially worse, but I don't know. I don't know how people feel about this card. We have looting in blue, like Merfolk Looter. Yeah, but that's all that sorcery speed, and in the form of a creature. So in theory, someone could go like, I don't know, Manamorphose, Faithless Mending, Gutshot something, and boom, you can. Would the Phoenixes come back? How does Phoenix work? Arclight Phoenix. Oops. This is good enough. Flying Haste. At the beginning of combat on your turn, if you cast 3 or more instant and/or sorcery spells this turn, return Arclight Phoenix from your graveyard to the battlefield. Well, then the instant thing doesn't actually matter so much. At least for the Arclight Phoenix deck. But looting, we know looting has had problems. You know, do not underestimate looting effects whatsoever. Yeah, working on a long weekend. Hey, it's Monday. Weekday is a weekday. I promise you guys I'm showing up for the weekdays. I'm going to be here for the weekdays. Maybe Just Guy Prowess can return. Anyway, it's a fairly powerful card. I don't know what shell it's going to go into. And maybe that shell still is going to need help. But make no mistake that this is one of the better cards that have been spoiled from Innistrad Midnight Hunt. Alright everyone, welcome to the morning show where we discuss all things Magic the Gathering. Get your questions fired up, let's have a great discussion this morning. And also, we do Decklist review. So if you got a 75, like some feedback on, hey, submit it to us, and both myself and the coffee crew would love to give you that feedback. So brew up your cups of coffee, let's brew up some magic this morning. Welcome to Coffee and MTG for September 6th, 2021. I am your host, Nikachu, the Merfolk Master. Good morning. Morning, Stephen Herman. Good morning, Gold Medals. Trevor Just, MTG Ectoplasm. Benji Boy, what's up? Good morning, Mareep, Erwin, Lopez, Scott. Good morning. And yes, working on the long weekend. Good morning, Magus of the Bargain and Victor Acquire. So now we're in the new spot. We've vacated Nikachu MTG and moved completely to Nikachu MTG streams. Also, I'm now on, because I've lost one platform, I gamed a platform with Twitter, so you know the drill. Oh no, hold on. Before we get to the drill, we have to acknowledge the sponsors, of course. Okay, FusionGamingOnline.com. Deal of the week: 15% off mystery booster, singles, and sealed product. Probably the last day that we're gonna get this discount. Yeah, we're on Twitter too. See, we're on Twitter now. And maybe it'll work because, like, Twitter wasn't promoting streams when, what's it called, was a thing. Stories became a thing, but now stories are, like, old news, so maybe they're going to promote, like, streams on Twitter. So if you're watching on Twitter, it's all good. It's all good. Okay, so FusionGamingOnline.com. Deal of the week this week, 15% off all mystery booster, singles, and sealed product. Very good for the Commander players. Staples like Rhystic Study. You better believe... It's so much money. I better not forget to pick up a Rhystic Study before this day is over, because I need one. I gotta scoop up. It's 50 Canadian dollars. That's ridiculous. But it can be 15% off. Not 50 anymore. And with coupon code Nikachu, you can get an even larger discount with an extra 5% off when you use the coupon code at checkout. And we're also going to thank Mana Traders, the premier place to rent Magic cards online. As the slogan says, play any deck, anytime, any format. You better believe this month they've got Pioneer as their free roll event. So if you don't own any Pioneer cards, no problem. Rent from Mana Traders and you got a deck instantly. You can support the channel using my Mana Traders link in the description below or save 15% off your first 2 months using coupon code Nikachu. Alright, 3 question marks before the question, 3 question marks after the question helps me find your questions amongst all the comments I'm getting on several social media platforms. Okay, Otar Ozzy asks, I looked around, Senate Guildmage also looted in Azorius and vanish into memory too. Alright, so it's not the first time we've seen the looting effect attached to an Azorius card. It's just not that common. I don't even understand what's the flavor. Like the only looting card, the other blue looting card I know is Careful Study. But then it seemed like they turned this into a red thing. Over time, like this is a fairly old card from Odyssey, and like over time there's just like, okay, we're just gonna make this a red thing. It's not really gonna be a blue thing. Ranting Republican says, I finally was able to make it to a stream. Welcome. What do we got here? Brayden. Morning, Nikachu. Modern tournament at my local game store in a couple days. Should I play mono green Tron or my mono red Burn? I personally prefer the Burn, but the Car and the Great Creator sideboard helps with answers a lot. It so much depends. First off, both those decks are hot right now. Very hot. Both those decks are actually really well positioned. I thought Burn would be dead. I don't even know why Burn's around. It's like a complete anomaly. Burn is like one of the best decks right now. It's made top 8 in a lot of modern challenges, so you can't go wrong with either Burn or Tron. Look, Modern is healing. You know, it was like, I don't know, 2 months ago I said Tron was dead, Burn was dead. Now Burn is so back. Truth be told, I didn't even know why Burn was really gone in the first place. There might have been some life gain at the beginning of the format. But anyway, you'd be fine with either one. Either one is good. Vampire Socialite, the new Thal Lieutenant for vampires. Let's take a look at it. Ooh, Rakdos. Rakdos vampires. We've got, and it's good, accurately costed too at a black and a red. Menace, so it needs to be blocked by 2 or more creatures. When Vampire Socialite enters the battlefield, if an opponent lost life this turn, put a +1/+1 counter on each other vampire you control. Oh, it's only when it enters the battlefield. Damn, if that was every turn, that could be bananas. Let's see. As long as an opponent lost life this turn, each other vampire you control enters the battlefield with an additional +1/+1 counter on it. Well, that's not too bad. It would be, we're gonna have to see how this thing plays out. I don't really like cards that, like, you get, like, I would like it guaranteed. I would like some guaranteed value. I mean, I guess you get it when it enters the battle. We're gonna have to see how this is gonna play out. Like, vampires, there wasn't, what is it, there's a Stromkirk something? Captain. This is the only good vampire in Rakdos. They had no good reason to go red, but now we got a reason to go red. Now we've got the reason. We have Vampire Socialite, something to play test. Did I sell my Parallel Lives? I have not. Did they print it? Did they print it? God, you're making me paranoid. I've not sold that thing yet. Ugh, I'm just too busy to go out to my local game store and sell the damn thing. Okay, I don't see it. We're in the clear. MTG Ectoplasm with the super chat. Thank you very much for the $5. With the new Spirit Lord, do you see Wizards of the Coast having a permanent that gives spirits flashback? What's the Spirit Lord? Where is our Lord? Is this a Spirit Lord? This is a human scout. I have not seen all the new cards. What's the Spirit Lord? It's the end of the spoilers here. Do I have to go further down? Is blue for 3 mana? I'm not looking in the right place. I'm looking at white cards. Oh, here we go. Geist Patrician. Spirit Knight, flying. Other spirits you control get +1/+1. Spirits, spells that you cast from your graveyard cost 1 less to cast. This looks really good for Pioneer. Like, this is obviously not that good, not nearly good enough for Modern, because Modern just has way. Well, I don't know. Maybe you can play this. It's just that the 3-drop slot is so clogged right now for spirits. They've got a lot of good stuff. With the new Spirit Lord. Okay, so with the new Spirit Lord, do you see Wizards of the Coast having a permanent that gives spirits flashback? It's anything is possible. I doubt it, but anything is possible. And I guess if you wanted to see it, it would be in this set. This is a good set for spirits. Innistrad Midnight Hunt. You know, it's all that ghostly stuff. But it's possible. It'd be more like, I would imagine it's something like a spirit that could just be cast from the graveyard. I see that being more likely than like a permanent that says cast creatures from your graveyard. I mean, both are possible, though. Both are possible. What are your thoughts on the new dual lands? They are slow. Slow dual lands. Basically unplayable for any competitive format. What, you're going to put the thing into play tap on turns 1 and 2? You're dead. You're dead. That's why we don't play tap land, or very few tap lands. We play like Ragaran we play the Triomes, you know? Good morning, Cody. What do you think about Bloodbraid Marauder in mono red aggro? Which format? We've got a Bloodblade Marauder. Oh, this was a Modern Horizons card. 2 mana, 3/1, can't block, and has Delirium. This spell has Cascade for as long as there are 4 or more card types among cards in your graveyard. You know, I think it's just meh. It's a pretty meh card. I mean, you know what? Maybe people should try to experiment with this in the Dragon Rage Chandler decks, because they get Delirium online pretty easily. So I don't know about mono red aggro, but any deck playing Dragon Rage Chandler, maybe they could play test this thing. You get a free 1-drop out of it, right? Get a free Bolt or something. Maybe a free Gut Shot or Mishra's Bauble. I don't know. It's not supremely terrible, but the thing is, 2 mana for 3/1 creature is not very impressive either. But should be play tested. Should be play tested. Are we talking about 60 land? Do we have do we have a deck list for that? We could definitely, if you link that in the Discord, we could take a look at that list. There's like a land. Is it a 60 land list though? It's not a completely land deck. Oh, you're talking about Pauper actually. Oh, Pauper, the Pauper community. Oh, there should be. Is there going to be a BNR announcement right now? So, okay, let's back this up. Let's go to Twitter. Well, let's go to, hold on, Wizards of the Coast Twitter. We gotta back right the F up. Backing it up. And is it this account that I think it made the announcement? There's gonna be banning in Pauper. Pauper players are getting sick of this. They're sick of their format, and they protested, and we've repeated many times. I don't know if it was the Magic Esports account though, or maybe it was the Esports account. Okay, next week. Ugh, whatever, you can see it. Next week there will be a banned and restricted list update for the Pauper format. No other formats will be impacted. Look at all the love. 1.2k likes, 338 retweets for that Pauper community. So turns out that are there published deck lists about this? So the Pauper community got fed up, and so they started submitting 60 card land decks, 60 land decks to like, what was it? The, like the preliminary queues? I think the preliminaries. Some event on Magic the Gathering Online. So tons of people submitted all land decks so that one of them would win the thing. And they're protesting they're protesting the format. They don't like Affinity and they don't like Chatterstorm. Chatterstorm apparently destroyed the format. And the artifact lands pushed the Affinity decks way above like oppressive levels. Chatterstorm, who would have thought this I would get pretty pissed losing this card over and over again. I would not gonna lie, I'd get pretty pissed over this. I would hate losing to this card and those eyes. So it's like create a 1/1 green squirrel creature token. Apparently Pauper players can't beat this. It's unbeatable. MTG Raz with the super chat. Is it worth splashing black in Boros Burn to run bump in the night? Seems like a waste for what it does. I think so. It's okay. It's okay, but like I don't think you get enough from the black splash. I think the white splash is more than good enough. The white splash is good. Like we've got this list. Oh, this is okay. Speaking of saying bad things about the black splash, this one has like this over here. Well, what was the cost? 1 blood crypt? Was that it? 1, 2, 3. Oh, and Blackcleave Cliffs. This has got to be a stupid list. This has got to be unstable. You've got Core Firewalker in here? Impossible. I call bullshit. I calling BS on that. Are there more than one person? Is more than one person doing this? Well, more than one person is doing this. Mad Lads. Mad Lads. Just crazy. I don't know if I can endorse this. This mana base seems pretty janky to me with 4 Core Firewalker in the sideboard, so I don't think it's worth it. And as we see, I mean, I guess it's viable. There's more than one result. Oh my god, there's a lot of them. Oh no, this is Magic Online Society. I don't care what happens there. Here's another one. Well, okay, the results rule more than anything. And if this list has been doing this well, okay, this list is a little bit more sane. They're like, okay, we don't have as many white sources, so we're not going to play Core Firewalker. This makes more sense. You know, I really can't argue with results. If enough people are doing well with Mardu, then I guess it's a viable strategy. I just don't believe in this Core Firewalker. You have what? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 13 sources in your deck. Sus. This is sus, in my opinion. It's just sus. I would think Boros Burn is... I mean, both versions, I guess, are playable, but if you're gonna play the Mardu version, don't play a double white spell. That's all I'm gonna say. How good is Sveilun in Modern? It's amazing. She is amazing. Love it. Thoughts on banning Ragavan and Murktide? Murktide doesn't really need to be banned. Ragavan's okay. Could Ragavan get banned? Yeah, maybe one day, someday. Today, nah. We're gonna live with Ragavan for a little while. Does Kira work fine in Mono Blue Merfolk or just Simic? Oh, you're gonna see tomorrow. As a Quell, you're gonna see tomorrow. I have we played Simic and Mono Blue yesterday. The Mono Blue version is coming out tomorrow, just because it's chronologically correct. I did the Simic one first, and I played Mono Blue later. Adrian, the Spirit Lord is for Disturb to be more playable in Standard. That's possible. That is possible. Remember, if you guys are new to the show, 3 question marks before the question, 3 question marks after the question helps me find your questions amongst comments. And like, you know, otherwise I gotta read every damn little thing that I see here. Yeah, so there might be a BNR here. We'll wait and see what happens. We might get the announcement. I think that we are expecting Chatterstorm gets banned, but the question is, what are they going to do to Affinity? Because Affinity got really powered up because of the artifact lands. What are the artifact land names? I don't know what they are. We'll just Google it. Artifact lands, modern, horizons. And now, like, everyone's gonna be like, oh, you see what the artifact lands did in Pauper? You can't unban the regular artifact lands in Modern. You can't do that, Nikachu. So anyway, these artifact lands gave them a big boost, apparently. They got more, they have all the artifact lands. They got 1 million artifact lands. Nikachu, are you done with all the spoilers? I'm not. If there's a card you want to look at, let me know, because I thought it was pretty damn boring last time, just reading through shitty cards. There's just a lot of useless garbage. Like, what is this? It's a mythic for 2 mana, human scout, lifelink. When Fearless Adversary enters the battlefield, you can pay 2 mana any number of times. Put that many courage counters on Fearless Adversary, and creatures you control get +1/+1 for each courage counter. This reminds me of, like, Jorgano Warcaller. Whatever. Like, if there's more interesting cards, let me know. I'll look it up. I can look it up, but, like, we're not gonna go through all. Like, the set ain't Modern Horizons. It's not Throne of Eldraine either. They actually printed a bunch of crappy cards to power down the formats. Nexter. Should I buy into Ulamog the Ceaseless Hunter for Mono Green Tron, or wait for the reprint in Double Masters 2 next year? No, just get it. You're not guaranteed that thing getting reprinted whatsoever. On average, cards are not reprinted, I would say. That's just the deal. On average, cards do not get reprinted. So what could happen is you wait a year, the price already goes up like another 20%. Let's look at Ulamog Ceaseless Hunger. Ulamog. Of all the Mogs. Ooh, you know what? It already had a crash. Now's the time. Not financial advice. But now would be the time. If there is a crash, maybe because Tron didn't do so well recently. That's a pretty big crash. Did it just... did it get a reprint? It didn't get a reprint, right? You got nothing. If you don't wait for the... you got it! Now's the time! Like, what are you waiting for? If you wait another year, it can just go straight back up to $75, and then they don't reprint it, and then it spikes because it didn't get a reprint. No card is guaranteed to be reprinted. I would never wait for a reprint unless, like, you just could not buy the card. It was impossible. It was like $300. F it, I'm not buying this thing. You got the reprint right here, or you don't need reprint to get value. The card just crashed hard. Went from what, $81 to $58. You couldn't ask for anything more, in my opinion. Ugly Hood Rat, have you done all the spoilers? Nope. Ben Bobble? Hey, it's possible. Did everyone see my meme? Hold on. Oh, can we see it? Excellent, we can see this. This is my meme. I made this thing. So it's like, wow, how did you get like that? Every time someone calls for bans, I do 1 push-up. Jesus Christ. For everyone who's calling for bans all the time. Are you running Force Failun in Modern? Absolutely. Absolutely. I still think this is the best card in the deck now. This is the best card in the deck. I just found out it's great against Tron. I was signing that thing out against Tron. What a mistake. Svaelun's the boss versus Tron. And Svaelun might be the boss versus combo decks too. Against combo decks, it's really resource intensive. And then if I let... It's such a good idea to, like, get Svaelun out on turn 3. And even if I don't plan on winning the game, I can at least counter something, interact with my opponent with, like, Force of Negation or something. Then untap with Svaelun, and as I'm drawing cards, like, a combo deck can't win. Et Tor Ozzy, some people guessed right that the tournament popular card to get its reprint with its 5th edition art was Pithing Needle. Yeah, wonder what is the Innistrad card reprint. I have no idea. I don't have any idea, but yeah, so we have a new Pithing Needle art. I don't really like it. Where are we? There we go. I mean, it's okay. I can see people liking this, but it's not for me. Not for me, people. That does not look like a Pithing Needle. I don't know what this is, but whatever. New Pithing Needle art. Fifth art now. Death and Tax is doing wheel today. What? Well, not really. Death and Tax is actually getting her ass kicked. Like, where is it? And even Spider Space, Death and Tax's master is not playing Death and Taxes right now. That is a testament to how much trouble it's in. How far do we have to go down? Oh god, we got to go down to the 0.9 percenters. Not doing great. But I won't talk because I think Merfolk's even further down this list. Oh, there's Merfolk. I'm going to push it up a little bit, though. I'm going to push it up. No spoilers, but Merfolk going to have a slightly higher win percentage. What do you think is the biggest modern piece from Midnight Hunt? Currently? Maybe Pithing Needle. That's such a cheater. Such a cheaty answer. It might be this Faithful Mending card. But, I mean, it's got to prove itself, right? It's got to prove itself. I mean, to some extent, you could say it's the blue card. Where's the blue one? We have more spirits here. It's like the new Opt. And I say it's the new Opt. I'm saying it's like... It's the good new one. Is this a new Soul Ring? Or is this from some sort of commander set? Oh, it's got to be some specialty commander set. Oh, I'm not finding it here. Okay, let's sort by Midnight Hunt. Where's the blue card? This new blue one drop. Consider! This might be the biggest card, just because we know this will see play. We know it will see play. It's just a better Opt. We know it's gonna see play, 100%. Like everything else is a maybe. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. We know currently we know that this is like because it's a strict upgrade to Opt. Who doesn't want to put cards in their graveyard? Who doesn't want to do that? Maybe Merfolk, but like a lot of people want to do that. It's a big deal. Direwolf MTG, on Friday I took a Naya Elf list 4-0 in a local game store, played Fish for first place. It was your Simic list. Why is everyone sleeping on elves? I don't know. If you've got a good list, I think one problem with elves is it's usually getting picked apart by a lot of removal. But if you got a good list, hey, start playing online, prove elves worth, and show everybody how elves is done. The Emerald Boy 100. 200 land decks is not a bad tech against Turbo Genius decks? You mean like some sort of mill deck? How many cards do you need to have in your deck to beat a mill deck? Like if they have only crabs, like what's the most cards that a mill deck can mill? If how much mill can a mill deck mill if a mill deck could mill? Or mill you? How much mill could a mill deck mill if a mill deck could mill? We've created a new tongue twister. Look at Chatterstone foil. Nightmare foil? So what, this thing in foil like gives you nightmares because like the eyes are gonna like really bulge out? Pauper cannot deal with Storm, hence all Storm payoffs are pretty much banned. They probably should. Well, I guess Storm was held in check until Chatterstorm was printed. Pauper got better Storm enablers than Modern. Yeah, in Modern, Storm is like dead. In Pauper, Storm is thriving. Next, or should I... Oh, I got this one, sorry. And I've not done all this, but I moved too far back. Okay, I own a Mobile Enthusiast says, I own an E-Tron deck, but my local metagame is extremely harsh towards it. Between regular G-Tron, Ponza, I also have a Rakdos Shadow, but without Ragavan, could that be playable somehow? Rakdos Shadow? I don't think Rakdos Shadow needs Ragavan. You probably could be fine with just Dragon Rage Chandler, Monastery Swift Spear, and then the Shadow creatures, and that's that. I think one deck that doesn't need Ragavan would probably be Rakdos Shadow, because you already have a lot of really good playable creatures anyway. And, you know, Dragon Rage Chandler is really just the real deal. I might concede at this point that Dragon Rage Chandler is probably just the better card between the two, even though it's an uncommon and Ragavan is the rare, or the mythic rare. Scott Hensley, as a Murktide player, I struggle against Crashing Footfalls. Besides Chalice, any advice? Counter spells? Counter spells? Play counter spells. Dude. Play counter spells. Like, just play counter spells. Just interact with them like that. I don't even know why you would be struggling. You struggle against Crashing Footfalls. I mean, I mean, the deck is strong and whatever. Wonder what else you could do, because they can bounce your Murktide with Brazen Borrower. That's got to be a beating. But again, counter spells. I would just play counter spells. Papa Joe, why are old videos hidden? I was looking over old videos in the Nikachu channel and couldn't find them, even in their playlists. Oh, maybe some... Okay, DM me somewhere, and I can get you the link to any videos that you want to see. I mean, I basically all out unlisted a bunch of really old... all my old videos from like a year or beyond. But maybe some... I don't know, maybe some of them are private for some reason. I would have to go check. The only reason some videos might be private is because, I mean, I know some of my Merfolk, like my Merfolk Primer videos are just completely out of date. They're just stone cold out of date. They don't even relate to the metagame anymore, so I don't even have, like, what's the point of talking about Curse Catcher when Curse Catcher is close to unplayable? But if you want to see something, just DM me. I can easily find it for you. It's not hard. Courtney Lawson. I think Zombies is gonna be good with the Champion of the Parish. Yes, I think that's a very good card. Maybe that is maybe that's a contestant for one of the best cards that are coming out of this set. That is possible. Antonio! Played Jeskai Control in my first 1K yesterday and couldn't seem to sideboard correctly. Any suggestions to stop them? Oh, you mean you played against Jeskai Control? Any stop them? I played Spreading Seas and even Chalice on 1. Thank you. Okay, so take those out. So you're up against a blue deck. You got the Island Walk already. It's very unlikely that you're going to mana screw them. So take out your Spreading Seas. Take out your Chalice. Chalice on 1 is okay. It's not the greatest. If I have Chalice in the deck, I'll play 1. Just so I don't flood out on them. Having a Chalice on 1 is not too bad. You hit... It may not be that good anymore, though. It used to be fine when they had Path to Exile and Lightning Bolt. Now they have Prismatic Ending, and they can just Prismatic Ending the Chalice of the Void away, so it's not even a problem anymore. And all their other spells are 2 mana or higher. So don't play those cards. What I do is I'll side down to 19 lands to have a relative... I may not even do that anymore. Against Jeskai Control... Maybe I'll side out some Ether Vials because of Prismatic Ending and not depend on it so much. Yeah, I don't want to talk about that too much. I would take out... You gotta take out Spreading Seas, take out Chalice of the Void, take out 1-drops that suck if you have too many 1-drops. Like if they don't do enough power. If a 1-drop is only attacking for 1 damage, get rid of it. What else? And side and counter spells. Side and counter spells. It's a bit of a... You gotta approach Jeskai almost like it's Jund. Almost. But Ether Vial sometimes can be very valuable because they still have a lot of counter spells. Giza! Glorious Resector is sick. A bit niche, but that effect. Sheesh. Let's look. Alright, Giza, Glorious Resurrector. 4 mana, 4/4. If a creature an opponent controls would die, exile it instead. At the beginning of your upkeep, put all creature cards exiled with Giza, Glorious Resurrector onto the battlefield under your control. They gain decay. Beginning of your upkeep, put all creature cards exiled. Okay. Interesting. It's like a modern day I want to say not Tasigur. There's another black creature that exiles cards. You get creatures out of it. You get zombies. Man, the name escapes me because no one plays this card anymore. But this seems like a modern day version of it. I'm just terrible with the names. I'm just brutal. What is the name to anything anymore? Force of Will equals guaranteed reprint? Eventually. But here's the thing about things like Force of Will. So let's look at Force of Will, for example. You can wait for a reprint all you want, but it doesn't mean like the price is necessarily going to go down by much. So here's the OG Force of Will. And sure, there were some reprints or whatever, and the prices fluctuated from 113 to like $94. Do you want to wait a year or two to save $20? I mean, okay, maybe if you need a playset, it's going to be $80. Do you want to wait 2 years to save $80? Because and the price still is going slightly up over time. Let's look at the other versions. Let's look at an Eternal Masters one. What is the price on this one? And this is pretty, well, it's not super flat. 104, going up to 140, going down to 110, spikes up to 150. Okay, this is getting bigger of a swing. So you buy on the dip. You buy on the dip. Because this thing, just remember, while you're waiting, like let's say someone here in January, I don't know, let's say it spiked to 144 and they're like, I'm not buying this Force of Will, not a damn chance. And you waited for the, or maybe, I don't know, did it get reprinted here? So you're waiting for the price to go down. Price didn't even immediately go down. And by the time you're hoping the price is down enough, it just spikes again. And that was in a matter of a year? Close to it. A little over a year. Just spiked over again. A lot has to do with the pandemic, of course. But point is, you can wait long enough for the price to go down and it just goes back up anyway, as if nothing happened. What is it so good in Svelun and Tron? Because Tron sucks your resources big time. Like, okay, Force Negation, then Counterspell, then Spreading Seas. And then eventually you run out of cards, you don't have any beef. But you can keep the gas coming if you have a Svelun on the board. Also, Svelun is very resistant to a Walking Ballista. Very resistant to Walking Ballista. What is the weakness of Etron in the current meta? Just big mana decks, but there isn't even that many big mana decks going around. Well, there is Tron. There's regular Tron. So that would be their Achilles heel. So they're afraid of Tron. Eldrazi Tron is a good deck. No one's playing it for some stupid reason. They might have trouble versus Crashing Footfalls. I don't know what their matchup is like here. Of course, Eldrazi Tron has the Chalice on 0, but I mean, this deck can do more things than play things on 0. And I also don't know what their matchup is like versus Elementals. Maybe it's bad. But like, I think it looks perfectly fine against everything else. Are Historic Merfolk good now? It's playable. I don't know if it's good. I haven't made it to Mythic yet. So, opinions on Plague Engineer 1 year later. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like Plague Engineer. The problem is, like, okay, it's not seeing any play right now, but the moment like a bunch of tribal decks get popular again, that card will get popular and completely be a pain in the ass. Maybe ban Brainstorm and Preordain in Pauper, or like every other format. I don't think they're gonna do that. People like their cantrips. Just ask the legacy players. How well positioned is Skyclave Apparition? Always well positioned. Always. But the thing is, it needs the right deck. It needs things like Death and Taxes, sometimes a Stoneblade deck, and also Death and Taxes, Stoneblade, or Spirits. And those decks might not be well positioned right now. Little Bird, what is the chance that we get into MTG Goldfish top 4 decks in the next 10 years? Higher than 1%, less than 100%. That's my answer to that. I'm confident in that answer. Naxter, opinion on no Jace the Mind Sculptor instant blue-eye control decks, instead running 4 Shark Typhoons. I think that's totally fine. Jace is clunky. Jace is Clunk City. Jace the Mind Daddy. The Mind Sculptor. What do you do anymore? Your 4 mana for Brainstorm? Who cares? This card does nothing. It's like it's literally a win condition these days. It's like if you have nothing else to do, you can go +2, +2, +2 and like win the game. So you need like a really good reason to put like, oh my god, the price just crashed. $57. I should have sold my. I have these damn Jace the Mind Sculptors sitting on my desk for more than 10 years, 12 years, just sitting on my desk. I should have sold at 150. I just can't sell them. I can't do it. It's the original World Wake. Look at that. Used to be 150. Now it's it says 80 here. But probably that's overvalued anyway. Look, they reprinted it. Should have sold. I'm a fool. And I had another opportunity. I just can't let go of the Jaces. I'm going to die with these Jaces. It's just how it is. Anyway, Jace the Mind Sculpt. Shark Typhoon is a great card in Control because it's a cycler. It's still and it can be a win condition by itself, but when you cast it as an enchantment, I think it's a great card. Why didn't they just write Surveil 1? Maybe because they just didn't want to add the whole mechanic to the set. That's probably why. I mean, it is Surveil 1, but like they don't want to explain this mechanic and put in the rule book or anything like that. Considered opt is like counterspell to Mana Leak? No, because this is strict. This is like a strict upgrade. Counterspell costs an extra blue, which is very important in a lot of decks. Mana Leak is a blue and 1 generic. So I mean, effectively in Modern, the Counterspell did upgrade Mana Leak because every deck that could play Mana Leak could play Counterspell. But there is a little bit of room to think one way or the other when you're building your deck. Yeah, they don't like to use keywords for a single card in a set. Agreed. Unruly Mob and Dissipate were in Innistrad. Hope neither of them is the reprint from Innistrad they mentioned about hoping for Lily or Snappy. Oh god, is that true? But they said it was a popular card. Didn't they say it was a popular card? Yeah, Innistrad. We've been there before. I don't know if this is a popular card, can't tell. You know, I find that this picture is so real looking that it's a bit unnerving. It's too real. Artist is too good. What do you think about the word discard a card? Would you rather lose a card or to pay mana? I see Graveyard Trespasser, quite interesting graveyard hate. Graveyard Trespasser? Oh, this is a new card? Graveyard Trespasser, black 2 generic, ward, discard a card. Whenever Graveyard Trespasser enters the battlefield or attacks, exile up to 1 target card from a graveyard. If a creature card was exiled this way, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life, and it's day bound. Still has ward, discard a card. Whenever Graveyard Glutton enters the battlefield or attacks, exile up to 2 target cards from a graveyard. For each creature card exiled this way, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. What do I think about? Oh, ward, discard the card. I don't think it's a high cost. Is that, if that's what you're asking? I think discarding a card is way easier to pull off than paying mana. Because if you don't have the mana, then you just literally can't target the thing in the first place. Although, discard a card has its advantages because, I mean, you definitely grind your opponent out. I don't see this as a really good graveyard hate. It's fine. It's fine, but... I mean, you have to attack with it in order to get the ability. I don't know if the card is that good just by itself. Like, you need to attack. Or no, sorry, that's not true. You can just enter the battlefield. Maybe it's something similar to General Kudrow. Like, when I look at General Kudrow... It's like some, like, niche graveyard hate, but has a bunch of extra abilities attached to it. So whenever General Kudrow or another human enters the battlefield under your control, exile target creature from an opponent's graveyard. Like, I think this is great graveyard hate. But it's a lord effect, and you can destroy creatures. Whereas this thing is like... It's only graveyard hates. What is the other side? It's like... And it's only if this thing enters the battlefield or attacks. Oh no, for each creature... Yeah. I don't know, whatever. Each ward has its plus and minuses. Mill can mill infinite because they got crabs and Oboro. No, but eventually they deck themselves. They can't mill infinite. That's the problem. They have limit unless they have their own Emrakul in the deck. They shuffle their graveyard into their library. Imagine that. Imagine a mill mirror. Oh no, but the mill mirror would be broken because of Tasha's hideous laughter. At some point, like, you'll exile each other's Emrakuls. That is so interesting. Thanks for the vote of confidence on Consider. I just pre-ordered 4 foil Consider from Fusion Gaming. You're welcome. I mean, the thing is, if you're playing Opt, I'm saying, like, this card is going to be a superior upgrade because of Opt. People play Opt, and if people play Opt, then you're going to play Consider. I don't know a single deck that would want to play Opt over Consider. Unless it had something to do with, like, having X number of one name of a card in your deck. Just to play around Meddling Mage. Would the Phoenix deck come back? I don't know. I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see. We're going to have to wait and see what people are going to brew. What are they going to brew? You heard the music. And you now know what it's happening right now. It's time for Decklist review. Alright, if you got a 75 you'd like to send to me and share with the community, go into my description. There is a link to my Discord. Join my Discord, and in my Discord there is a channel called Decklist Review. When you're in Decklist Review, submit your decklist entering the command !review deck space, give the URL to your decklist, and you'll be eligible at random for Decklist Review. I have to say, we've moved to Nikachu MTG. Who we got? We got one person on Twitter watching. That is awesome. We've got 5 people on Facebook, and we have 146 Nikachu MTG streams. Welcome. So we lost like 100 people so far who did not get the memo to sub to Nikachu MTG streams. Fools. That means your questions get answered a little bit easier. That's why. That's all. It's good for the people that showed up, paid attention. Shout out to 2 people on Twitter. Huge shout out. Look for somebody's comment from Twitter. If you post something, I'll highlight it. I'll post anything. I just find it neat some people are watching from that platform. Oh, Fraser T's here. Welcome. Well, it's Decklist review time. Ad nauseum wouldn't like Consider? Why not? I mean, I get maybe not. Maybe they wouldn't want it because they don't want to accidentally throw combo pieces into the graveyard. Maybe not. Well, Opt is also good in like decks that just utilize the graveyard at all. If you use the graveyard at all, you like Opt. Sorry, you like Consider. It's a holiday in the USA. Viewership should be down. Oh, yeah, that's true. It's a holiday in Canada, too. I'm working on the holidays. I guess we all share the same Labor Day. Okay, I'm going to wait for the Calep Poe. So actually, thank you for joining me on your holiday. Awesome. Where's the Decklist review music? We got it already. It came and went. It's only for like, I don't know, 2 minutes. Okay, I'm gonna start getting. We got to get this going. I see you, Bob the Builder. We got Banshee. Banshee 42, not to be mistaken with Banshee 41. You are the next contestant on Decklist Review. Awesome. And you've got a little Grixis action here. It's like Grixis. What the hell? I was like, oh, this is like a Grixis Delverish deck. No, we've got crabs to ruin people's day. What is up with this? So this is a mill, but with like creatures? Discard and mill. Ashiok. Mesmeric Orb. Lightning Bolt, Drown in the Lock, Expressive Iteration, Glimpse the Unthinkable, Maddening Cacophony. What are you doing? Grixis Mill. Alright, well then play Mill. What is with all this other weird crap? What do you need this card for? This doesn't mill your opponent, this mills you. Silly question, is Decklist Review limited to Modern? I like Pauper. It's not a holiday in Mexico. Oh, sad for Mexico. You can submit anything except Commander decks and limited decks. And every other format is fine, because somebody in the chat will know the format better than me. But yes, you can submit Pauper decks. We've had many a Pauper deck here. We do get mostly Modern, though. The best format in Magic! Oh, God. Why? Why are we playing Dot? Okay, scrap this crap. Just get rid of it. Unless there's something I don't know, like you're trying to be aggro mill. You're not even milling the opponent all that much. You got to explain to me why you're playing red for... Okay, Lightning Bolt is fine for removal. Expressive Iteration. I can almost get behind that because it's still card advantage to get like more mill cards. Yeah, well, the problem, there's two problems with Commander. Your decks are enormous. I have to read like a million cards, which just soak up all my time. And lastly, I don't know shit about the card pool in Commander. I cannot help you. Okay, so... You're not really a mill deck. That's the problem. You're not really milling anything. You have... How many mill cards do you have? You're an imposter. You have 4, 5, 6, 7, 11. You have basically 11 mill cards, and then you have some crabs. That's not enough. Like, you have a very inconsistent mill deck. I think if you, I mean, the most successful mill decks I've seen, they're a combination of like milling and controlling, like, you know, removal spells. Now, I do like the idea of throwing in some creatures, just in case you need to get a you want to get a beatdown strategy going. But this probably deserves the sideboard. They're fueling... Are they milling them? Is this self-mill? Each opponent mills... No, this one's specifically for the opponent. This one can mill yourself. Are you self-milling? Each opponent... No. Not all of this is self-milling. Yeah, you're doing the classic mistake of doing two things at once, and it ain't going to work. I'll tell you this much. Okay, so you have two... I'm going to give you two options. Option number one is you play this deck with Hedron Crab with the exclusive reason to play, like, get Crocs into your graveyard and then escape it, and also to turn your Dragon Rage Chandler online. That could be, like, a really janky, interesting idea. And then maybe play with some more graveyard stuff, and you have to scrap all this. Now, let's say you want to go the proper... like... the proper route for mill. Okay, I'll let you keep Lightning Bolt because it's a very versatile card. Well, we could even try Expressive Iteration because it is card advantage. And like a burn deck wants extra cards, I don't see any reason why this deck wouldn't want extra cards either. Although you need enough mana so you can cast something on the same turn. So I'll tell you what. But you have to scrap this other stuff. You gotta remove the Dragon Rage Chandler, the Dothy Voidwalker, the Crocs, and the Murktide. So you scrap those 10 cards, play more Mesmeric Orbs, play more Glimpse the Unthinkable, play Mindbreak Trap. Is it Mindbreak Trap? I think it's Mindbreak Trap. I don't remember all the traps. Yeah, oh no, it's not Mindbreak Trap. What is the trap? It's a trap! Archive trap. All the traps sound the same to me. You can just cast this actually for 5 mana. That's not impossible. You know, play all the regular mill cards. You can, and then if you really want to, put this creature plan in the sideboard. You don't have to. You can keep things like as you do right now, but and you should have surgical extraction somewhere in this deck to at least deal with the problematic cards that shuffle your opponent's graveyard into their library. Voidwalker is card advantage when you cast the opponent's spells, but that's pointless. You're not looking for card advantage. You're milling your opponent to death. Yes, this is all true, but you're trying to mill your opponent to death. And this doesn't help that strategy. You're just doing too many things at once. Oh yeah, Tasha's Hideous Laughter. That's a game changer. Just put 4. Yeah, definitely have 4 of those in here. You got to do one or the other. You scrap the mill plan or you scrap the creature plan. I can respect a creature plan in the sideboard to board it in. Your opponent still might have removal because the crabs are so important, but they probably don't have so much removal to defeat all your creatures. So I could definitely see this sort of transformational sideboard. Maybe being a mill deck turn 1 and transform. Yeah, game 1. That's definitely possible. I could have a lot of respect for that, especially when people are bringing in things like Emrakul and other garbage like that. You know, they're trying to. I would love to see a dedicated mill deck completely transform into a creature-based deck. With 15 cards, it's possible, and if you're in the blue, black, or Grixis colors, it's definitely possible. So take that idea to the bank, and hopefully that helps. Good luck. But you can't have 2. Can't have those 2 strategies in the same main deck at once. Shambly, welcome back to the main stage on Decklist Review. It's been a while, Shambly. Okay, what are you doing? The Shadow Showdown. Mardu. We've got 21 lands, sure. Alright, creatures. What the hell is this? Elseed of Life's Bounty. Are you kidding me? Why? Lifelink. Sack it. Target creature or enchantment you control gains protection of from the color of your choice until end of turn. Death Shadow, Dragon Rage Chandler, Hex Parasite, Kroxa, Lurrus of the Dream Den, and Ranger Captain of Eos. I don't understand this one. Like, what's the point of this? Also... Oh, you really want Ranger Captain so badly? Because you have the option to play Lurrus in the sideboard, which would just be infinitely better because you start the game with Lurrus every time. This is the only card this is the only permanent card that's too expensive. What has brought it back? Choose up to 2 target permanent cards in your graveyard that were put there from the battlefield this turn. Return them to the battlefield tab. Get this, scrap this. This is terrible. That's why no one plays this card. You need to have played something that died, or I guess your opponent could have played something that died, and then you try to bring it back. Not good. Just play another card. Play another threat. Play more Croxes instead of this. Mishra's Bauble, fine. Seal of Fire is fine. Oh god, Showdown of the Scalds. Exile the top 4 cards of your library until your next turn. You may play those cards. Whenever you cast a spell that this turn, put a +1/+1 counter on a target creature you control. I don't really believe in this card either. There's a description! 27 Noetic. Inspired by Aspiring Spike's red-white brought back list, but modified to it. What was his list? Aspiring Spike brought back.
Need a reason to try our grass-fed beef?
No. I do love A&W though. You want my favorite fast food place to go to? Canadian A&W. Delicious. Unmatched. Nothing's gonna beat that. You have Lurrus. Why have brought back? Yeah, Lurrus brings back all the creatures. Oh, I can skip the ad.
So yesterday on chat
what are you doing?
About brought back. Like 2 people brought it up. Remember, Lockhart was one of them. I can't remember who the other one was. And I think it was Lockhart who said, you know, you can bring back Mishra's Bauble with brought back. And then at that point, I started thinking, brought back can also bring back Showdown of the Scalds after the third mode goes off. And so I started brewing, and I played a league with this deck last night. I made some changes to the sideboard, and then like I changed one land in the main deck. I was playing a Lotus Field last night because it also works with Brought Back, but the Lotus Field just didn't seem that good. I mean, you're also a Flagstones deck.
I see the idea.
I don't think this is a Lotus Field deck. I also changed.
I see the idea. Clear as daylight. All right, so you got to now explain to me how the rest of this deck has, like, how does Shadow have synergy with this thing? I mean, maybe it does. Yeah, so the enchantments go to the dumpster. So things like Mishra's Bauble, Seal of Fire, Showdown of the Scalds, they're going to go to the dumpster. And then you're going to bring it back. And you can, for 0 mana, basically put these things into the graveyard. So when the moment is right, you cast these things, you let them sit on the battlefield, then you sack them, then you bring them back, and you get extra value. So you can bring back Ranger Captain of Eos. Can't bring a Lurrus. Can't bring back... well, you can't. You can bring back Croxa, but it doesn't do anything. It doesn't really matter either. You could bring this thing back, but this is not very impressive. And again, you're doing the same thing like the last deck is doing, merging 2 decks into one. Yes, you're Hex Parasiting plus Death Shadowing at the same time. I see it. Sideboard Engineer, Explosive Soul God Lantern, Surgical Extraction of Braid, Void Mirror, Kai's Guile, Kolgan's Command, boom and bust. Why so little likes, guys? If you love the live stream, you give the like. Smash that like on... where are we? Smash like on Facebook, smash like and give a heart. Smash like on YouTube, give a heart on Twitter. Okay, fun interactions. Hex Parasite resetting Showdown of the Scalds for more card draw / more +1/+1 counters. Croxa with Brought Back for double triggers. Double thumbs down on that interaction. In addition to Flagstones, Boom can target your fetch lands. Yes. Sideboard might need some work. I'm trying out Boom over Cleansing Wildfire, but I need more testing. Croxa Brought Back for double triggers. Not that big of a... that's not a big interaction. And I know... okay, well... how about this? This might still be, like, insane. How about you play 4 Ranger Captain of Eos, so you can always find your Death Shadow. And play more Hex Parasites. Just in case you don't have Ranger Captain of Eos, because Hex Parasite still synergizes with Death Shadow, right? Because you can just pay an infinite number of Phyrexian life and then smash your opponent for the most damage. Selfless Spirit cannot be found off of Ranger Captain of Eos. This Alseed card can. Croxa has no business in this deck, so -2 Croxa, more Ranger Captain of Eos. Like, I guess. Lurrus is weird too. Like, it's a good value card, but I don't know if you're going for value in this deck. You might be better off taking out Lurrus and playing more Hex Parasite. Maybe like a few more Hex Parasite. And at the very least, you have Dragon Rage. Your main win condition will still be like Dragon Rage Chandler, Death Shadow, and then Ranger Captain of Eos to find Death Shadow or Dragon Rage Chandler. And then the rest of the deck will have synergy together. Selfless Savior, is this better? Oh, maybe that's better. That might be an option. The Doggy, sacrifice another target creature you control gains indestructible until end of turn, but doesn't protect you from like Prismatic Ending. This might be better. I mean, this might be okay too. So I mean, or maybe you could even have both in the deck. I don't know. Brought Back is more to use with Bauble and the enchantment for card advantage, and I guess maybe bring back more... well, but we have other synergies here, right? Like, we have Ranger Captain of Eos. So you play Ranger Captain, you get a 1-drop. You can also sack it on future turns, and then bring it back with Brought Back and get another 1-drop. And also the effect, again, of your opponents can't cast non-creature spells this turn. And it's a pretty relevant creature in the modern metagame right now, because if your opponent plays, say, Shardless Agent into Crashing Footfalls, you can sack the Ranger Captain of Eos. Crashing Footfalls can't, like, you don't know what's in their deck, their Cascade. You can just sack this thing before anything gets put on the stack, and then boom, like you basically counter them, and then you can bring it back. Bring it back. Would you grief yourself to discard your own Ashen Rider to bring back with Persist? Absolutely. But you can't do that, can you? I think grief is just opponents. Target opponent reveals their hand. You choose a non-land card. I would do that if I could, but I cannot. It's not allowed. Illegal. This exact list has a 5-0? That's insane. This exact list has a 5-0? I still don't believe in this Croxa like synergy. That doesn't make any sense to me. So anyway, these 4 cards are like the weird ones to me, the Croxa and the Lurrus. Well, maybe Lurrus is better than I think, just because it has just good. It's like another version of Brought Back almost. So maybe we just remove Croxa for like 2 more Ranger Captain and call it a day. And it can find Hex Parasite anyway. Yeah, you can Thoughtseize yourself. If this has a 5-0, this is pretty wild. I mean, I can see the idea. I can see the idea now. But the Croxa... The Croxa synergy seems very silly. Very, very silly. Maybe its only value is with, like, Lurrus. Because you keep, like, bringing back Crocs over and over again while you have a Lurrus out. Any old list can 5-0. It's not that... Hey! It's not that easy either. I mean, you throw a million monkeys, it's possible. Nikachu's Vampire... Yeah, I got a 5-0 with Vampires. Thanks to, like, running into Uro decks over and over again. Not everyone is happy about playing against Uro decks, but I was when I got that 5-0. Alright, I hope that feedback... That's a cool list, actually. It is a cool list. And I think if you replace Crocs with Ranger Captain, I see a lot of promise with that sort of deck. I can definitely see it going somewhere. It's going to be consistent enough that it's like a Death Shadow / Dragon Ray. It's a weird janky Death Shadow deck with a lot of value. So that's going to be it for today, everyone. Thank you very much for watching the stream. If you want to check out the replay, most of you are here at Nikachu MTG streams. If I didn't get to your comments, questions, or deck list, don't worry. We do this Monday to Friday, 9 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time. Also, actually, the replays are also on Facebook. And they're probably now going to be on Twitter, too. So anyway, yeah, we're here Monday to Friday, 9 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time. If you would love to support the channel and you don't do so already, you could drop a sub at twitch.tv/NikachuMTG. You can become a patron at patreon.com, or you can hit the join button on YouTube. So thank you very much, everyone, for joining me today. Enjoy your... It's Labor Day, right? Enjoy your Labor Day weekend. Kick back. You started the day with Magic. Maybe you'll spend the rest of the day playing it. Take care, and I will see you all next time.